I, 38 male, have a 19-year-old daughter, Ariel, with my ex-wife, Lauren, 39. We had Ariel too young and it was a huge struggle. We moved into Lauren's family house and I was working multiple jobs. Lauren and I were best friends through all this, but things ended when Ariel was 2. Lauren's friend Tori, 38 female, told me that Lauren had been messaging guys and when they went out, she would give out her number. I checked Lauren's phone and found it. I asked for a divorce. Lauren was angry and wanted to reconcile. I didn't and got split custody. Lauren made my life a nightmare. Lauren badmouthed me, we would miss pickup times and make decisions without talking to me. Her dad offered money to relinquish custody and I told him off. Ariel is now 19 and has just started college. The deal was that her mom and I would split it. I remarried Tori when Ariel was 6. Tori was a rock during the divorce, but we didn't date till 2 years later. Lauren used this to warp Ariel against Tori and our son, young teen. She excludes them. Whenever we spend the night, she would talk to me or go to her room if my family was around. Our son walks to the basement if she comes over. It hurts me a lot. I've spent thousands on therapy before people bring that up. It's still being utilized. But at this point, Ariel is being nasty for the sake of it. Her mom convinced her I cheated on her with her friend and had a baby, which is funny because, as I've pointed out, the timelines don't even match up. I've done everything at this point, including family time, one-on-one and therapy. Ariel is plain rude to them and they are done trying. Ariel graduated from high school in May and hosted a party. I was invited, but my family wasn't. I told Ariel I found that disrespectful. So I'd send a card but wouldn't be going. She didn't care and we hadn't spoken since. Finally, I got a call from Lauren saying she paid for the first semester and was wondering when I'd be paying. I said I was no longer paying as I'm not pulling money out of my household when Ariel is disrespectful to 2/3 of it. My ex went off, saying we had an agreement. I reminded her of when her dad tried to buy my custody and said, "You have what you've always wanted, full control and custody, you won, so figure it out." Then texted her that I've been putting up with this long enough. She got her 18 years of child support from me. So until she planned on setting the record straight that I was done with both of them and blocked her. I called Ariel and told her the same. I gave the reasons I wasn't paying and told her she needed to look into loans, but I would pay for college if she at least tried to form a bond with my family because she created this situation with her attitude. So if she wants my help, she needs to attempt it. She started crying, but I didn't fall for it. I told her my expectations and to let me know her plan so I could move the money around. My wife is on my side here, saying we've been the bad guys for long enough, but I'm getting crap from others. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. You have every right to be upset about her mom turning her against Tori, but the deal was, so far as I can tell, that you would split tuition. I doubt you put the caveat in that she would have to accept Tori as part of your family when you made that agreement. She doesn't want to be involved with your family, and you're trying to pressure and bribe her into doing it, which is crappy. She'll only resent you and your family more for it. If she goes along with it, it won't be genuine, and she'll ditch it as soon as she's done. Nothing good will come out of it. OP should just tell Ariel the truth, that Mom was unfaithful and created a web of lies in Ariel's mind over Tori. Mom is angry because either way she loses. Either she has to fork out more college payments or the illusion of lies she spun is shattered. That is if everything OP is telling is truthful. Not the idiot. People, come on, why do you enable this behaviour? I do have to mention that we don't know what happens in their household, but did you forget that OP's son gets neglected by Ariel? He is done with her. That must mean that Ariel is involving him and misbehaving toward the son. Why should OP reward bad behaviour from his daughter? This entitled behaviour can stop now. Ariel didn't even care that Dad didn't come during the party, yet instantly cried when she was told she would only get the money if she bettered her behaviour towards OP's wife and son. You all act like this is the end of the world, but the money is still there for Ariel. You are not entitled to that money. Be happy your parents want to and can pay. The only thing Ariel has to do is make an effort with OP's son and wife. I, 30 male, have a beautiful wife who loves to serve others. We bought a home down the street from my family. I have a sweet sister, nearly adult, who likes to crash at our house with her friends. My wife normally is pretty easygoing until recently. My sister's friends have been leaving messes. Mostly towels are on the floor after using our pool. My wife got upset picking up after them every day. I've asked my sister to ensure the house is clean after they leave, and it has been better. My wife also complained that some of her perfumes, clothes and personal items have gone missing. My sister said it's not her. I believe my sister, I just don't see her doing that. So I told my wife and we agreed just to replace them. Last week my wife made a couple of pans of cinnamon rolls from scratch. One pan was for us, the second pan was for a co-worker's family who was experiencing a tragedy. My wife went to the gym, I went to work and my sister and her friends came by. The one pan wasn't enough for her and her friends. They wanted the second pan of cinnamon rolls and my sister texted my wife asking if they could eat them. My wife said no. They ate them anyways. My wife, upset, went and bought new locks. When I came home, my wife handed me a new key and told me that she didn't want anyone else to have a key to our house. I tried to calm her down and tell her that I would just go replace the eaten cinnamon rolls with store-bought ones. My wife decided this was her hill to die on and said no. My sister lost the privilege to come when we were not home. Replacing stolen items wasn't good enough anymore. My mom called and asked if my sister could use the pool as a back-to-school party. I was under the impression my mom would be there. I said yes, my mom was at work and our schedules clashed. The easier solution was for me to change the locks back so they could come into the house. My mom didn't come with my sister. When my wife got home after the party, it was a mess. She sent me photos. She called me the idiot for changing the locks without talking to her about it. Keep in mind she did too, then told me I broke her trust. She wasn't safe in her home because she kept getting robbed and I refused to put an end to it. I did talk to my sister. Then my wife let me know she was staying with a friend for a while. Am I the idiot here? I feel like I've tried to right any wrongs that have happened between my wife and sister. You are the idiot. Oh my god, this is your wife's home too. Not just yours where you get to make the rules. Her stuff is being stolen, and your sweet sister and her friends are disrespecting your wife and your home, and you're just okay with that? Why don't you clean up after your sister? Your wife deserves better than you. You clearly take her for granted. Your sister shows no respect for boundaries despite multiple discussions. By allowing her to continue to disrespect your home, you have created an atmosphere of unrest. Your wife deserves to feel like her belongings are safe and her home is a sanctuary. If the thief or ransacker wasn't your sister, you would have called the police and installed a security system. Stop making excuses and choosing your sister over your wife. Sis is clearly in the wrong and you are enabling her BS. Are you kidding me? You would rather lose your patient and wonderful wife because of your sister and her idiot friends? Your meter is broken. Anyone who thinks it's okay to let their family steal, and that is what's happening, stealing from their spouse in their spouse's home, and it is her home, is suffering from stupidity. This would be an absolute deal breaker for me. You're fortunate you haven't gotten divorce papers served yet. I, 26 male, recently went to my friend's housewarming party, where all of my high school friends were catching up. The girl, my friend, married and also went to high school with us, so her friends stopped by. I think this is huge for the judgment. Growing up, I was heavy, very heavy, and it became my personality. I was popular mostly because I was the funny, friendly fat guy, but it sucked in a weird way. I'd be around girls all the time, but they were always my friends, so I became a friend to the girls. Obviously, that was a long time ago, but I was still heavy in college. That was the last time many of my friends saw me. A year ago, I moved to a different city and got into fitness. I've cut a lot of weight. My confidence has really improved. So, low-key, I was excited to show my friends. All my guys were stoked for me. So while I was there, this girl showed up and I recognized her. Chloe, 26, was a high school classmate and we ran in the same circle. For whatever reason, I always had a crush on her. She knew it and kind of played with it. So I planned on taking her to prom. And her response, according to her friends, was, "You know." I don't know why, but that response has stuck with me. It motivates me whenever I don't feel like working out. So seeing her in person gave me a weird vibe. She recognized it and came over to tell me how great I looked. I simply thanked her and moved on. She had her chance years ago, but now she wants to talk. Nah. So as I'm talking with my friends, she approaches again with the host. We have a little conversation. The host then pulled me aside and asked if I was single because Chloe was asking. I said, "You know," and walked away. 15 minutes later, Chloe approached me and tried talking to me again. I was kind of annoyed at this point, and I was like, "What do you want?" She said she wanted to talk and catch up. I said this, You played me in high school all the time, said you when I asked you to prom, but now that I'm skinny and you're a single mom, you want to talk to me? Get out of here. I knew she was a single mom through social media. I think that's part of why she was even trying to talk to me. Well, apparently, I said it loud enough that a few people heard me. She and the host stepped outside. I decided to leave, and as I was walking out, I saw my friend's wife and Chloe on the porch, and Chloe was crying. I didn't say anything and left. Some people are saying I should apologize, but others are totally on my side, saying she was rude to me in high school and I just gave it back to her, that she was only crying because I exposed her for being crappy. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You knew her intentions and you called her out on it. She wasn't interested in you while you were friends because you were heavier, but it's been years and you all barely know each other. But she's now interested in you because you're in shape. 100% she was after your looks. I'm bringing up that she's a single mom. Being petty isn't a crime. You ignored her several attempts through the night to talk, but she couldn't take a hint. Bruh, Chloe never actually bullied him. She possibly said you know at the idea of being his prom date, but that hasn't actually been confirmed by her. A lot of us have been bullied and wouldn't behave this way if we came across our bullies a decade later, because teenagers are stupid that sometimes grow into adults who aren't idiots. OP owes Chloe nothing, but using single mom as an insult is just misogynistic and unnecessary. He could have just said, I heard that you were rude about me behind my back and I don't feel comfortable talking to someone who's that shallow, and left it at that. You are the idiot, OP. Agree. You are the idiot, dude. You're 26, but reading your post I thought you were 16 and still in high school. You lost weight and became an awful person in the process. She was a kid when she went, you're a grown man with a huge chip on your shoulder. My brother died 6 years ago. He left behind a wife and 2 daughters. My brother and his wife never had the best marriage and she was never close to my family. We adored the girls though and spent a lot of time with them and my brother while he was alive. After my brother died, we ended up in court to see my nieces because their mom was shacked up with someone days after the funeral and she decided if we wanted to see them, we needed to take his kid too. I was granted access to the girls and have never passed on this time. She ended up married to another guy within 11 months of my brother's death, with 2 of his kids, and she has 2 kids with him. Her family and his family are not involved in their shared kids' lives. Because of this, the kids have latched on to my family. We do not want to be in their lives though, so we focus on the girls and try to be kind to the other kids but not lead them on. Their mom keeps letting them come and acting like we're equally responsible for her other kids. Once, she even said that since she didn't divorce my brother, they're his stepkids and so part of our family. The girls have talked about how weird life is because they're discouraged from talking about their dad at home. They're told they could see their mom's husband as their dad. They're even told they should advocate for their siblings to be included. But neither of them likes that their mom remarried in the way she did, and neither like her husband. They've expressed jealousy of his other kids who have no contact with him and don't have to be part of that household. So the older half-siblings have a birthday soon, and when I went to pick up the girls, he came out and asked why I wouldn't be at his birthday party, and I told him he should ask his mom to explain. She came out and he asked her, which is when she told him I needed to be invited. So he turns around and asked me to come. I told him I couldn't make it. He asked why, so I said his mom would need to tell him. I didn't want to drag it out with the kids, so I left with the girls quickly. One was held back by her stepdad but was coming out as all this happened by my car. I got several messages after saying I was the idiot for making her answer for my cruelty. I think it would have been worse for me to say anything, but I want others to judge. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. The kids aren't yours and they aren't your brother's. If they continue trying to force the situation, have your lawyer send a cease and desist. The kids might be innocent, but the parents should raise them because they're not your family. She might also start thinking that she can drop the kids off at your house for babysitting, etc. if you don't put your foot down. By saying the sister-in-law, Mom, will explain it, you're letting her control the narrative. You shouldn't play this game. Simply explain that you are related to his half-sisters through their dead father, which means that you're their aunt but not his. Explain it straightforwardly so that the kid stops being batted back and forth like an emotional shuttlecock between you and his mother. His mother is an idiot. She is setting the kids for heartbreak. My wife's mother has a massive ego. Some examples include wearing what could have been a wedding gown to our wedding in a shade of pale blush, so bridal. sulking when we got engaged because she wanted to get engaged despite not having anyone in mind, and announcing how beautiful her hair was at father-in-law's funeral. Demanding my wife's pregnancy not interfere with her destination wedding when she did get remarried, and sulking because our daughter was named after 2 other family members and not her. I see the effect it has on my wife. Father-in-law always pitted them against each other because he was gross, and she feels like she always had to share and compete with her mom. I'm not okay with that. Recently we had a photo shoot for our daughter's first birthday. Everyone was supposed to wear jeans and a white shirt, any white shirt, so mother-in-law could be somewhat fashionable. Mother-in-law made a whiny comment about how her husband doesn't own jeans, so now she has to go shopping. I flat out told her I wasn't aware his legs didn't work. She looked confused and I said he could go shopping himself. So in mother-in-law's mind, this photo shoot was off to a bad start. On the day of, mother-in-law showed up wearing a white top and a blue floral skirt. The flowers were really small so they would mostly blend in, but I was furious that she couldn't follow directions. I asked my wife if she was okay with it and she said, "Oh, you know how she is." I went up to mother-in-law and asked what had happened to the denim. Mother-in-law said she wanted to wear a skirt and didn't like jean skirts, and she just feels more comfortable in skirts. She wears a lot of skirts and dresses, but isn't against wearing pants. It was also short and tight with a slit, so I guess I know why she felt so comfortable. I told her that she would not be able to participate in the pictures. She protested that it wasn't fair as it was close enough and her granddaughter's birthday, but I said, "Too bad, so sad." Finally, her husband stood up for her and said she wasn't comfortable in plain jeans and a white shirt, but I ignored them and we didn't let her in a single photo. Not the idiot. You teach people how to treat you. Now she knows she can't just do whatever she wants regarding your family. I'm sure she also had time to tell you that she wanted to wear a skirt instead, but instead, she chose not to say anything and just arrived at the photo shoot as she wanted. She learned a lesson that day. This isn't about pants, it's about control. She wants to see how far she can step beyond the boundaries before pushing back. She's a narcissist. It's up to you guys to decide how far you'll accept her behavior. The only thing making me lean towards everyone's the idiot here is that this will have ramifications on your wife and her relationship with her mom, regardless of you trying to protest her. You two must have a serious conversation about boundaries and where you are with them.